Underway with the Wildcats getting the opening tip. A lot of new faces, but some important holdovers as well, including Otega Owe, Kentucky's leading scorer from a year ago, but an immediate turnover.
And that's exactly what Louisville wants to do whenever Otega Owe gets the ball. He has to see a lot of bodies, a lot of Louisville bodies.
Tell people what they need to know about the point guard freshman Mikel Brown Jr.
Mikel Brown Jr. is a star. He can really handle the ball, excellent passer, and a fantastic shooter.
And a foul at the rim on Owe after a strong drive by Ryan Conwell, one of the transfers coming into Louisville. He was at Xavier a year ago.
They wanted to get him the ball going to his left. He's a left-hander, and coming off that little wide pin by Sananda Frew, that allows him to turn the corner. He is big, he is strong, and very versatile.
He can really shoot it too, better than 16 a game with the Musketeers last year. Better than 41% from three. And Pat Kelsey went into the portal, Jay, and brought home a whole bucket full of shooters.
Well, Isaac McKneely, who transferred in for Virginia, 240 career threes, 41% career, led the ACC in three-point shooting last year. And Conwell, the same number of made threes in his career, but he shoots a lowly 40% for his career.
How can he look at himself in the mirror?
Yeah, how can he talk to McKneely?
Kentucky, a great offensive team a year ago. Mark Pope feels that they are tougher and better defensively than they were last year when they went to the Sweet 16.
One of the reasons the guy with the ball, Denzel Aberdeen, who came in from Florida, excellent defender.
Shot clock running down. Colin Chandler, who's the leading scorer in the early going for the Cats. Offensive rebound, and the putback won't go for Brandon Garrison.
And whoever gets the ball for Louisville off the glass can take it and go.
Conwell, yes!
Getting back in transition is not good enough. You have to get back with the mindset to collectively stop the ball.
Aberdeen, as Jay mentioned, a big part of the Florida Gators national championship team, starting for the second time in 3 games. Baseline drive for Owe for Kentucky's first basket.
Boy, Owe's got such a quick first step. The defense couldn't recover to get to him.
Brown, McKneely. Very quick release, but can't hit the corner three. And a strong rebound for Mo Diabate, who transferred in from Alabama. Chandler for 3, and what a start he is off to this season.
Colin Chandler is a different player, outstanding athlete, had a huge dunk in one of their exhibition games, but he's a different player than he was last year.
Remember, last year he was coming off a 2-year Mormon mission, a year under his belt, and he is looking outstanding. Mikel Brown Jr. knocks it down.
Now, I thought that Isaac McKneely is Louisville's best shooter, but Pat Kelsey told us yesterday, he goes, hey, it might be Mikel Brown. He can really stroke it.
All we know is they'd be out there for a while if they had a team-wide competition. They are such a different-looking team with the perimeter shooting than a year ago.
They take good shots, but are conscience-free. Terrific shot fake by Colin Chandler, who can really drill it once he gets his feet set. And Brandon Garrison needs to get up off that screen. You've got to be right on Mikel Brown Jr. because he's going to pull the trigger.
Chandler the cut and the kick. And a corner 3 will rattle out for Diabate, who can shoot that. Didn't shoot all that many of them with Alabama last year, but made 12 of the 26. Conwell wide open on the wing for his second 3 of the night.
Just a great fade screen by Sananda Frew. That opened it up for Conwell. This is an excellent fade screen shooting team.
Louisville 2-0, and they've been in triple digits in each of their first 2 games. Aberdeen with the response for the Wildcats.
Look how quickly, even after a made bucket, that Louisville's getting the ball up the floor.
And that's part of the game plan, right?
Absolutely.
Push it as much as you can.
Put as much pressure on this Kentucky defense as you can.
Brown, not this time, tipped around, and Aberdeen down with it for Kentucky. The Wildcats don't mind pushing it up the floor either. Owe gets tied up, And it will be a held ball, and the possession arrow will give it back to the Cardinals.
Ryan Conwell did not go in to swipe at the ball. He went after it with both hands. That was like a defensive back almost trying to punch it out of your hands. Watch, he goes with two hands and just grabs it. Look at the strength to tie that ball up, because Otega-Owe is strong himself.
Multiple substitutions, Jay, for both coaches. Right now, each of these teams appears to be comfortably 10 deep. There's Jalen Lowe, the transfer from Pitt. You can see he's got that right shoulder wrapped up. Missed the first game of the year, came back in the last one. It's his non-shooting shoulder. How about Mikel Brown doing it from deep and then getting into the paint?
Boy, great screen up top, but that body balance is just excellent.
And a little bit stronger than he looks, too.
And finish with the left hand.
Dangerous cross-court pass. Lowe right back to Owe. And the three rattles out and over the back. Or no, it's going against Louisville. It'll be Javon Hadley of the Cardinals called for the foul. An intense, energetic start to this. Long time until the rivalry renewed, Jay, in 1983, and everyone is better for it.
This rivalry should be mandated by law.
Absolutely.
They should play every year, no matter what.
Lowe, beautiful feed, and what a baseline cut by Diamante.
Well, there you can see Jalen Lowe and his feel for pick and roll. He did a great job. They were trying to force him to his weak hand, but he wouldn't allow it. Got to his left and just drew the defense. Just beautifully done.
There's a block by Owe, but the ball bounces back to Louisville. Javon Hadley, Ali Khalifa, and there's the guy you can't leave open if you're Kentucky, is Isaac McKneely. The Virginia transfer knocks it down.
And Khalifa, such a good passer.
Up top again, another assist for Lowe. This time it's the freshman Malachi Marino from Georgetown, Kentucky.
Well, Jalen Lowe comes into the game, and all of a sudden, 2 lob dunks for Kentucky.
Khalifa for 3. Too strong, and the rebound down to Diamante, who does everything. Alabama folks know that. Now numbers for Louisville, 2-on-1. McKneely, Hadley, and a goaltending call on Marino.
Boy, that's an old school break, fast break. The ball never touched the floor. Well, Jalen Lowe is going to really change this team with his playmaking ability. Left-hander, throws it up, gets 2 lob dunks in a row for Kentucky. Transferred from Pitt, where he was 3rd team All-ACC last season. And Mark Pope feels with some changes in his shot selection that his efficiency is going to go way up as a Wildcat.
Yeah, he was a guy, Mark Pope's eyes lit up when we asked him today, is he a guy you really targeted in the portal? And these 2 point guards, Brown for Louisville and Lowe for Kentucky, have a chance to put up big-time assist numbers this year. Here's Aberdeen. What a find he was as he lays it in. He was not a starter for Florida, but that's only because they had the best backcourt in the nation last year. He'd have been a starter for just about any other team in the country.
No question. Brings such tenacity on the defensive end. There's nobody he can't guard. Boy, Kentucky running that action out of the middle of the floor. That's so difficult to guard.
Kobe Rogers, number 11, into the game now for Louisville. A strong drive, but unable to finish is Adrian Wooley, a transfer from Kennesaw State, another guy who can really shoot it. And a foul underneath on Rogers. Looks like he had 2 hands on Marino, and that basically is an automatic whistle.
He got caught on Marino on a switch. And just as the ball went up, he just kind of went in to Marino's body. I'm not sure Marino's going to make that catch for a score, but the foul bailed him out.
More changes. Pat Kelsey just swapped out 4 players. Mark Pope a couple. Again, both teams very deep as McKneely comes up with a steal.
Excellent help side.
Brown. A battle on the glass, and Aberdeen wins it.
Boy, Kentucky has really improved its personnel defensively. This is a really good defensive team.
Yeah, Louisville has improved its shooting, and Kentucky has improved its physicality and defense. Lowe, another great find, and that's Andrea Jelic, a sophomore from Croatia, with a jam.
They jumped him with a double, and he just passed it right out for an easy bucket. What great vision.
Boy, Brown not shy. Line drive three, no good. Cason Pryor into the game, tips it back out.
Got a switch.
Pryor trying to back down low, kicks it. Brown drives it. And Conwell has to get it off. And now it belongs to Kentucky. Jelic takes a bump and finishes, and the Cats have the lead.
And that was a basket scored off great defense. Forced a late shot in the clock. Long rebound, they turned it into an easy basket.
Conwell around and out, and Louisville has cooled off after a hot start.
Boy, this has been a track meet, and I don't think it's going to end anytime soon.
Jasper Johnson, a freshman from Lexington, the lefty. Too strong on the three, and Pryor down with the board for the Cardinals.
Jasper Johnson is a talented scorer and clearly has no fear.
Dad and uncle both played football at UK. Sananda through with the flush to put the Cards back on top.
Well, Mikel Brown Jr. doesn't project as a freshman, does he? Great poise with the ball.
And through, an older player, played 4 years in the German Professional League, as now Lowe, who is having an unbelievable start here tonight, has a chance for a 4-point play.
Just came off a little pin down screen, and he came off firing, turning over that right shoulder. Jalen Lowe was a scorer at Pitt. Now he's run this game 9 of 14 from the field. 6 assists on the game overall for the Wildcats.
And again, coming off the bench tonight, but that is because of that right shoulder injury. Again, it's his non-shooting hand. There's no question, and maybe as soon as next game, Jay, he's the starting point guard for this Kentucky team.
I would think so, but I'm not sure it really matters, honestly. I mean, this team, with the minutes they play, probably projects a little bit like Mark Pope's 1996 national championship team. I mean, nobody knew how many minutes anybody played on that team. It's just they were really good and they won the title.
Yeah, Pope talked about that when he looks at box scores after the game. In terms of point distribution, it has that 1996 feel for him as Sananda lays it in for Louisville.
Boy, how about that pass by Mikel Brown Jr. Draws a double, little pocket pass for an easy bucket for Frew. That's just beautiful.
Nearly a steal for Wooley. Lowe turns it over. It's Conwell, and he draws the foul after Kentucky's 5th turnover already in this game.
Louisville doing a great job in the gaps. Jalen Lowe's first turnover of the game to go with those 3 assists. But watch, just coming off this little handoff, draws 2 defenders, and then just puts that little pocket pass right on the money to Sananda Frew.
There's Conwell, who is off to a big start. 4th school in 4 years for Conwell. South Florida, Indiana State, Xavier, and now here in Louisville.
Played for Sean Miller at Xavier last year before Miller took the job at Texas. So he has a very good understanding of the pack line defense, which Louisville plays.
Preseason first team All ACC. The Cardinals picked 2nd in the league behind only Duke, and they finished tied for 2nd with Clemson last year. Pat Kelsey, in his first year as the head coach here, just had a great season, totally turned around the program, and now, as they say, Jay, they've moved the goalposts. Expectations are sky high here in Louisville.
Wooley just got caught on a switch. He's got Garrison down low.
Lowe, the drive, blocked by Frew.
Boy, what a great job of moving his feet.
Wooley. And another goaltending call. Count the basket.
Boy, Wooley got to the basket just so quickly. Transfer from Kennesaw State. But after this switch, Lowe thinks he's going to take on Frew. Frew might have fouled him there, but was able to wipe that away. and just a really strong drive to get past 2 Kentucky defenders and get all the way to the 10.
Just so many more offensive weapons for the Cardinals. Last year they didn't have this many weapons. Plus, as you well remember, they played with a lot of injuries. There were games where they maybe only had like 7 players that Pat Kelsey could throw out there. Both of these coaches can go 10, 11 deep right now.
And they can shoot it from so many positions. That really opens up the floor. You have to pick them up beyond the 3-point line.
Lowe has gone to the bench. Aberdeen at the point now. Kenai Roots forces him to put the brakes on.
Just fabulous help side defense by Roots.
Diabate too strong off the glass.
So far, Louisville's been the more physical team.
Chandler got a piece of that, and here come the Cats. Good transition defense there by the Cardinals. Aberdeen, wide right, long rebound to Frew. Brown, yes! What a talent he is!
And great patience by Conwell. Let everything set up, then found Mikel Brown Jr. in the corner, who was ready to fire when he caught it.
And all of a sudden, it's a 9-0 run. Aberdeen, air ball. Brown again. And well short on this attempt. Ball still loose. And finally, it's tied up. Coming up next, another great game. We will send you to Spokane. It'll be number 23 Creighton and number 19 Gonzaga. A great early season test for both. Graham Ike coming off a game 19-11 for the Zags against Oklahoma. And Creighton led by Owen Freeman, a transfer from Iowa, who had 19 points in 19 minutes off the bench in their season opening win over South Dakota.
Owen Freeman stepping into a difficult challenge of trying to replace Ryan Kalkbrenner, one of the all-time greats at Creighton.
Kentucky needs a bucket. Good cut by Owe, and a foul on Conwell. Looked like Conwell was saying, hey, he was falling, he was stumbling without my help. But he does get a whistle.
He did help him a little bit. He grabbed him. There's no question that was a foul. But a really good cut by Owe to help out Diabate when he needed it.
15 foul on the Cardinals. The Wildcats have committed just 2. Boy, Diabate is going to be such a nice piece for Mark Pope this year. He went 3-0 with Alabama against Kentucky last year. Nice rebound by McKneely.
So many of these shots are under pressure for Kentucky.
Conwell stopped by Owe, who's a terrific defender.
And Khalifa, an excellent passer with the ball.
There it is. Everything but the finish, but as you were saying, that is one of the things Ali Khalifa really brings to this team.
Well, he's not quite Nikola Jokic, but he does pass it extraordinarily well. And his teammates know it. If you make a great cut, little step and go for Ryan Conwell, and Khalifa right on the button to pick up the foul.
Khalifa transferred in from BYU, sat out last year after knee surgery. So this is his first year as an active player here at Louisville. And again, they've got just such different looks with the big guys that Pat Kelsey can throw out there between Frew and Khalifa.
Both coaches have a lot of lineup flexibility.
Yeah. Jalen Lowe back in there to try to ignite the Kentucky offense. Chandler was looking to do some damage. Khalifa having none of it. Rogers. And the foul going against Owe of Kentucky.
The pressure is being applied by Louisville in transition. Every stop, they are running.
To the other end, Mark Pope is not going to like that. Like Pat Kelsey, Pope is in his second year on the job, and they had a great year last year as well. Had 8 wins over top 15 teams, tying a D1 record. Went to the Sweet 16. Khalifa lays it in, and this is now a 13-0 run for Louisville.
Boy, really good execution of the out of bounds underneath. Khalifa set a screen, and then he was wide open.
The 3 won't go for Diabate. The Cats can't buy one right now. Conwell. And Chandler down with a rebound. Away a couple of years with Oklahoma, and now in his second year with Kentucky as Khalifa stepped out to hedge, but he's called for the block.
Now watch Khalifa, sets a screen here and immediately seals off Mo Diabate, which is not easy, but came right back to the ball. When you set a screen, that's oftentimes when you're going to be open, and he knew it.
By far the earliest this game has ever taken place. Generally over the years, historically, it had kind of been, as you well know, Jay, leading up to Christmas. Once before in late November. Never has it been this early. Never has it been before the Louisville-Kentucky football game. People in these parts talking about that all the time, but for college basketball fans around the country, what a great early season treat this is.
Well, Jalen Lowe on that last play did a really good job of using a shot fake. And that's what I think Kentucky needs to be more mindful of. Louisville's really jumping into him. A shot fake can be really effective.
Sunday afternoon, we'll have 2 great women's basketball matchups for you. 10th ranked NC State hosts number 17 TCU at 1 Eastern on ESPN, and then on ESPN2, number 22 Louisville taking on Clemson. Both games are also available on the all-new ESPN app. Brown with the ball. Top 10 recruit, projected as a lottery pick, one-and-done kind of guy. Almost 30 points per game last year as a high school senior, and he's just as good at distributing. Behind the back pass to Khalifa. And look at the bounce pass into Conwell. It doesn't get any prettier than that.
Boy, it's one thing to make a great cut, but when you have a big guy like Ali Khalifa that can deliver a beautiful pass, that's just fabulous basketball played by Louisville on that possession.
Now Chandler with a backdoor cut, and the weak side follow by Yelovich. Boy, look at Louisville push the ball up the court. First field goal for Kentucky in better than 5 minutes. Little stop and go, turn around by Brown. He's got it all right now.
Boy, how much game does Mikel Brown Jr. have?
Getting after it on defense as well. Lowe gets free. And that is going against Louisville. I think Conwell.
Boy, Ali Khalifa just does a great job almost with that handoff. Used his body as a screen and then hit Conwell, and just beautiful pivot and turnaround jumper over Marino.
Khalifa sits. The foul on Conwell, his second. He sits. And freshman Malachi Marino is at the line. Mr. Basketball in the state of Kentucky a year ago. A McDonald's All-American as well. And a guy who had 18 points and 10 rebounds in Kentucky's win over Valparaiso 4 days ago.
Yeah, he's a leading rebounder right now for Kentucky. He's developing his offense, but a terrific pick and roll roller. Can get all the way to the rim. You can lob it to him. He's shown a lot of potential early on in this season.
Had only made 3 of 10 free throws in the first 2 games, but made both of those.
Well, he's got a good stroke.
Hadley got a strength advantage on Lowe, but then kicks it out. Wooley hits the 3.
Boy, that was beautiful. Just backed him down. They call those Barclays. I don't know why.
Chandler misses the corner 3. A double-digit lead and the ball right now for the Cardinals. 5.5 to go first half. Hadley with the left.
How did he corral that ball? It looked like he was losing it the whole way.
And a timeout for Mark Pope.
We don't need to worry too much about what Kentucky's doing. We need to be great at our system. And he talked about transition, rebounding, physicality, and toughness, being a warrior in the gaps. And they've tilted the floor in their favor. Seems like they're going downhill.
Kelsey, the ACC Coach of the Year a season ago, one of the great year-to-year turnarounds for a program in his first year on the job. Owe. Marino keeps it alive, but it's wrapped up by Hadley. Ahead to Brown. 2 more.
This has been a clinic by Louisville in the first half.
Lowe left it short on the front of the rim, and back come the Cardinals again. Brown. You betcha! Mikel Brown Jr. absolutely dominating this game. Aberdeen with a tip in for Kentucky. And grimacing on his way back down the floor on defense, catching up to McKneely. Wooley left alone, and the Wildcats catch a break there. He's a good shooter.
Boy, it's surprising to see Louisville miss. It's been like a video game for them in the first half.
Marino with McKneely on him, lays it in. And now Brown will slow it down just a bit. He's got 15 points and 3 assists already, and Pat Kelsey will use a timeout. All Mikel Brown Jr.
He has been absolutely spectacular in this game.
What a freshman class it looks like it is around the country this year, and Brown is a big part of that. Not just a shooter, not just a passer. He can drive and get to the rim, take a bump as well. There's a guy who knows a little bit about hooping for Louisville. Donovan Mitchell in the house, couple of great years here with Louisville. Now a 6-time All-Star at the NBA level. The Cavs have a night off, and is he having fun?
The 13th pick of the 2017 NBA draft, played 2 years here at Louisville. Only averaged about 7 points his first year playing under Rick Pitino, and just exploded his second year. And we know the kind of NBA player he is. He's a superstar.
Brown was the most outstanding player at the FIBA 19 and under World Championship in Switzerland this past summer. I'm sorry, he was the leading scorer for Team USA. A.J. DeBanza, who's now at BYU, another stellar player in the freshman class. He was the most outstanding player. Could have been DeBanza, could have been Brown, but Brown, even on that level, playing against some of the best 18, 19-year-olds in the world. Sean was great, and boy, are Louisville fans thrilled to watch him. Likely only have him for 1 year, but he is going to be an incredibly impactful player here for Pat Kelsey.
This is the deepest freshman class of truly outstanding talents that I've seen in my 31 years at ESPN. That doesn't mean that the players at the top are the best you've ever seen. They're spectacular. But the depth of great freshmen, I think, is unprecedented.
Those are the top 5 in terms of incoming rankings this year. The SC Next Top 100. And how deep is this class? Mikel Brown Jr. is not on that graphic, but obviously deserves mention with any of those guys with the kind of start he's off to. But boy, you are right. They are special, and there are a lot of them. That's the first Cardinal turnover of the game. Chandler with a nice look and a 3 for Otega-Oweh to get it down to 12.
And one of the first clean looks that Otega-Oweh's had in this game, and not surprisingly, it came off a turnover.
Oweh put his name into the NBA draft, then withdrew it, and one of the things he was told he needed to work on was the three-point shot. Take more of them, make more of them, so it wouldn't be a surprise to see that be a bigger focus for him in his senior year.
Well, he can make threes. He's got a little bit of a wind-up in that shot. I wouldn't call it a hitch, but it takes him a little while to get it off. But one thing with him, you cannot allow straight-line drives, and you have got to make him play in a crowd. Ooh.
Brown got caught in the air. Owe anticipated it, picked it off, and lays it in.
Well, that's where Owe is so tough, where he has an advantage. Just lowered that shoulder and shot Isaac McKneely back into the stanchion.
Truly outstanding at both ends of the floor. Otega Owe, and he's got it down to 10. McKneely misses the three, and Owe the rebound. Aberdeen with a deep one. Got it! And it's a very quick 8-0 run for Kentucky.
Boy, this has been a game of runs, so how is Louisville going to respond?
By giving it to Brown, letting him create, and he draws the foul.
Kentucky ratcheting up the defense, getting a steal off Mikel Brown, getting caught in the air. And then Denzel Aberdeen, I don't remember him pulling the trigger on shots like this last year at Florida, but he's playing without fear right now.
Boy, and they cut 15 down to 7 in less than a minute, although now Brown is at the line.
Has Brown even broken a sweat
yet?
It
doesn't look like it. The foul was on Colin Chandler. It's his third. He's pleading his case with Ron Gruber to no avail. Chandler will sit, and Jalen Lowe returns for Kentucky. Chandler was in the rotation last year, but not a starter. Did come on very nicely at the end of the season. And Mark Pope telling us this morning what a big jump he made over the summer, and he is going to be a very big part of this Kentucky team this year.
This is a really important last 2 minutes of this first half. Can Louisville stretch this lead out, or can Kentucky get it down to a possession or two?
Lowe turns the corner. Nice find. And a chance for three. Great patience and a shot fake down low by Diabate.
Mo Diabate transferred in from Alabama. They're in that dunker spot along the baseline, but effectively using a shot fake. We talked about that earlier. Shot fake gets Hadley in the air. He couldn't do anything but foul, but couldn't stop Mo Diabate from finishing the play.
Another guy they got in the portal, as we mentioned, Alabama. So that means he played in an Elite Eight last year, a Final Four 2 years ago. Aberdeen won a national championship last year. So Mark Pope has brought in players with a lot of great postseason experience.
Well, I think if you took a poll of Kentucky players from last year and said, who's the player you least like playing against, they would have voted Mo Diabate, and now they've got him.
McKneely.
Good fake.
Weak side follow goes for Khalifa.
And all set up by the shot fake. You got to come over from the weak side. That opens up the offensive glass if McKneely misses it.
Owe trying to shake Conwell, can't do it.
Boy, good defense by Conwell. He really fought through those right over the top of that screen, then got underneath as well.
Hadley switches on to Aberdeen. Aberdeen from 17 can't hit it. And it's down to Hadley. And a wise decision, did not have the numbers. Another great feed, but a block by Owe.
Boy, that saved a bucket. What a great cut.
And then he has it knocked away, and back come the Cards. End to end they go. In and out for Brown. And it's down to Kentucky. What action. Lowe penetrates and kicks. Aberdeen for three. And they got it down to 5. And now Louisville can hold for the final shot of the half. Is this any fun?
I'm exhausted. You want to leave yourself a little bit of time for an offensive board.
Brown the drive, scoops it up and in. What a first half.
What a great play call to end that first half. Just
the half, so they are down 7 with the Cardinals getting the first possession of the second half. Brown with 20, the high score. They move it around to the perimeter, looking for a good look. Hadley out to McKneely. Conwell got him going early in the first half. Conwell for three. Yes!
Boy, a beautiful two-man game. Hadley had Chandler on him in the post. That's a mismatch, but especially with Chandler with 3 fouls and a terrific pass out. Boy, Louisville doesn't catch the ball ready to shoot. They catch it to shoot and make you take it away from them.
The Cardinals now 8 for 21 from three-point range. Aberdeen absorbs a little contact and knocks it down. He's going to have a big, big year in Lexington.
Well, he played great for Florida when he started. Whenever there was an opportunity for him to start, he really picked his game up.
Averaged 14.4 points per game in 5 starts last year. McKneely open. And that is the one guy you can't leave open if you're Kentucky.
Well, Kentucky getting caught on switches. Chandler wound up on Frew, and he needed some help. And when that help came off, you leave a corner shooter that shoots 42% overall.
Owe with 7 in the first half. Did turn it over 4 times, though. Misses the 3.
That was a settle.
Now a steal. This will not be a settle. The slam for Owe.
Boy, one of the few turnovers for Louisville. It turns into a turnover for a touchdown.
Owe might be as good as anybody in the country at doing that. Getting the pick 6 the other way. Through. Rolling to the basket to lay it in.
Boy, Mikel Brown is having fun out there. And Kentucky needs to do a better job of getting pressure on him so it's not quite so fun.
The first sellout here at the Yum Center in 6 years. Better than 22,000 are here. The vast majority of them obviously wearing red here tonight, and they're having fun as well. Aberdeen tried to draw the contact, comes up empty.
Used the shot fake. Hadley did a really nice job of not fouling there.
Conwell with a transition 3. And the foul is on Hadley of Louisville. The crowd thought it was going to be on Diabate, who looked like he extended the right arm. Pat Kelsey can't believe it.
Well, the foul was before the push-off. So you watch Hadley just grabbing right there. He's got his arms wrapped around him, and then he got pushed off.
Number 3 on Hadley, but at least for the moment he will stay. These are 2 competitive physical guys, Hadley and Diabate. And Diabate wins that battle.
Boy, last year when Diabate played 20 minutes or more, he averaged 13 and 10 in just under 2 blocks.
Garrison thought he had it clean, but he's called for the foul. Just his first.
Sananda Frew, a junior from Germany. He has really good feet and an excellent hedge defender.
22 years of age, 4 years in Germany's top professional league, classified as a junior. Seeing more and more of this. Players coming over from Europe after having played in professional leagues, but still gaining eligibility. Speaking of professionals, Wednesday star-studded ESPN NBA doubleheader has the Magic taking on the Knicks at 7 Eastern. And then how about the late game? The Lakers and the Thunder at 9:30 Eastern time. Ernie, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq tip off our coverage at 6 o'clock Eastern time. There's a guy with a vested interest. Danny Ainge is one of many NBA executives in the house here tonight, watching the Cats and the Cards.
Former Celtic and former Toronto Blue Jay.
That's right. Well done by you. Nowhere to go for Diabate, but
called a charge
on him, offensive. He just didn't have a lane.
Frew did a really good job of just being there in the gap.
So Louisville with the ball in an 11-point lead and another Kentucky foul. This time it's Aberdeen.
Well, as the game gets more physical, and it's going to keep getting more physical, you have the opportunity on drives to draw those fouls. And these fouls are starting to pile up a little bit for Kentucky.
Brown to Frew. And another three. It'll be Hadley. That is Louisville's 10th made three of the night.
Boy, Louisville's big guys are good passers.
Owe fouled on the drive.
The Louisville guards are not at all afraid to give that ball up in the middle of the floor on a short roll to their big guys. Sananda Frew making a really good decision to get it to Hadley, and zero hesitation.
Frew's now got 3 assists. Khalifa's got 2. And I think 1 or 2 more of Khalifa's passes led to fouls and free throws. You're right, both big guys have been a big part of this offense.
And Frew gives you a big guy that can move his feet, and he can switch off onto a guard. You haven't seen much of that in this game, but there are times when he's in the game that Louisville could switch 1 through 5. Makes them more versatile defensively.
Mark Pope just swapped out 2 of his big guys as he brings Malachi Marino back in and Andrea Jelovic, who quietly, in limited minutes in the first half, went 3 for 3, 6 points.
Well, Jelovic knows how to play.
Off the bottom of the rim, and now Brown is caught behind the play. It's 5-on-4. Owe left the floater short, got it back. Johnson misses the 3, and here come the Cardinals.
And now they have numbers.
Wooley blocked. Boy, great end-to-end action in this one. It'll stay at this end of the floor.
Boy, Louisville had Kentucky had numbers after Mikel Brown went down to the floor and came away with nothing. And a nice play by Jalen Lowe. That saved a basket.
Nearly 4 minutes in, Louisville has added 5 points to its lead from halftime. Up by 12.
Looked like that ball might have gone off Louisville. Yeah, they're gonna look at it. You can challenge these now.
Yep.
I thought it went off Louisville.
So the new rule, or one of the new rules this year, out of bounds plays always, they can only be looked at
out of bounds.
So out of bounds plays is one of the things that coaches can challenge, and in fact it's the only way for the officials to go look at an out of bounds play. It has to be initiated by a coach's challenge. The idea, Jay, obviously, is to reduce the number of reviews and speed up the game. And now ACC is strengthening, is better, or looks to be better than it has been the last couple of years.
Oh, I think it's way better than it was last year. I mean, we'll get a great barometer in the ACC-SEC challenge.
Of course, a Louisville win here in this game would be a big one for the ACC. The SEC, the powerhouse in the country last year, 14 out of 16 teams going to the NCAA tournament. Wooley behind a screen, knocks down another 3. Louisville now with 11 made threes on the night.
Just really good action. Conwell curling right off of Khalifa. You're worried about him getting the pass. And then Wooley just steps right behind and knocks down the 3.
Lowe slips as he turns the corner. Jelovic finds Jasper Johnson. Way too strong on the 3.
That's one where you shot fake and drive. We've talked about the shot fake, but that was a challenge 3 by Jasper Johnson. In a game that is this electric, with everyone flying all over the place, a shot fake can be incredibly effective as an offensive weapon.
Johnson, a freshman from Lexington, a top 20 recruit, and a teammate of Mikel Brown Jr.'s on Team USA at the FIBA U19. Jelovic doing a good job to stay in front of Brown. Conwell can't get away from Owe. Khalifa forced to put it up and gets the offensive rebound. And Brown is down. Mikel Brown Jr. is down behind the play and grabbing his right leg. And maybe you hope, maybe this is just a cramp. As he is up on his feet, he is limping, but at least he is walking off the court under his own power. A very good sign.
Long rebound, and Khalifa shoots it right back out to Brown. Yeah, it looks like it may be a cramp. It's hard to tell. But there was zero contact.
Yeah, he might have been feeling it even before he got the ball back. So hopefully it is the best case scenario. And some pretty good circumstantial evidence over there that it is indeed a cramp. So that's good news. Owe tipped away by Khalifa. Gathered by Conwell. And Marino down with a rebound for Kentucky. Lowe the look ahead to Owe. He can't finish it, but he did get fouled and will shoot a pair.
Boy, what a turnaround. I thought Conwell was going to go right into Jasper Johnson and draw contact. Instead, he tried to avoid it, wound up hitting the deck himself and couldn't finish the play, and that led to a run out for Kentucky.
And that'll send Owe, who was voted as the preseason SEC Player of the Year. That'll send him to the line for a couple. Well, here's our ACC Network Friday night men's basketball doubleheader. It'll be fourth-ranked Duke hosting the Sycamores of Indiana State at 7 Eastern, and then number 18 North Carolina and NC Central. Both games also available on the all-new ESPN app. Carolina with the high J of beating Kansas, and then the low of the Seth Trimble injury, suffering a fractured left forearm, undergoing surgery, and clearly will be out several weeks. We don't know exactly how long, but may not return until conference play.
Yeah, what a huge blow for North Carolina. Seth Trimble is the Tar Heels' best individual defender, and he's really the engine, in my view, of their transition game. And Carolina was fantastic against Kansas in the Dean Dome. It was a great win for the Tar Heels.
Kobe Rogers to inbound for Louisville. A 14-point lead. They've led by as many as 18. Kentucky got it down to 7 at halftime. McKneely. And Louisville now 12 for 29 from three-point range.
When Conwell was trying to back down his defender, that was a great job by McKneely to cut behind and make himself available.
Aberdeen with the answer, and he's got 18 to lead the Cats.
He's been the one keeping Kentucky in this one.
Isaac McKneely is a guy of whom Pat Kelsey said, I used to lie awake at night worried about how to guard him. When McKneely last year was with Virginia, Kelsey coaching Louisville. So instead of keeping him up at night, you go get him in the portal and make him one of yours.
And a really good screen by Javon Hadley to give him that little fade right behind the play.
Aberdeen switches on to Hadley. Marino comes over to help. Rogers gets a piece of the paint, scoops it up and in.
Boy, a fabulous shot fake and drive by Rogers.
The 6'3" redshirt senior from Cincinnati, who played under Coach Kelsey at Charleston, sat out last year recovering from an injury. Conwell, and he's fouled.
Well, he's done a nice job not only being aggressive, but getting into bodies and getting into the paint. He got into the paint and played off 2 feet instead of just going off one and trying to throw up somewhat of a wild shot. He played off 2 feet, and that's what drew him that foul.
Number 3 on Diabate will send Conwell to the line for a couple. You know, on any given night, Pat Kelsey may have one of his shooters who's cold, but he's got another guy and another guy and another guy he can turn to try to find shooting.
This can be an elite shooting team, and they're so good off fade screens. But I've been more impressed with their defense. They've been in gaps. Louisville's been the aggressor on both ends of the floor throughout this game.
And Conwell may be bleeding, so he'll get a little attention. Boy, how fun is it for folks in this town, which is a basketball mad city, to have this program back where we're accustomed to seeing it be.
And how quickly the turnaround came under Pat Kelsey. Like, both these coaches, Mark Pope and Pat Kelsey, are fantastically emotional and positive. And they both injected this positivity into their programs and this belief. And you're seeing this belief realized upon tonight for Louisville. But there's still a long way to go.
And the Cardinals have now matched their largest lead of the night at 18. Conwell makes the free throw. Are they going to take him out or just work on it again? They're going to take him out and bring Wooley into the game.
Adrian Wooley back into the Cards, replacing Conwell.
Now Louisville coming with full court pressure.
And they got it. And off the rim, just a little bit short on the reverse by Rogers. It will be Kentucky ball. The crowd is asking for Pat Kelsey to challenge.
And he's going to.
Earlier, Mark Pope challenged. It did not get overturned, so they lose a timeout, lose a challenge, and now Pat Kelsey will try one.
Back into the Cards, Mikel.
I think they're going to win this one. I think that was off the right-handed Chandler.
It hit Diabate's leg first, and then Chandler's hand.
Out of bounds call is Kentucky ball. Louisville's taking a timeout to challenge the play.
Yeah, definitely hit Chandler's hand, unless it brushed the leg of Rogers, but hard to see that. But again, the call on the court matters. The call is Kentucky ball, so do they feel they have conclusive evidence to overturn it?
It's conclusive. I think that's conclusive. If that's not, then why bother challenging anything?
Didn't look like it hit Rogers. The spin on the ball didn't change or anything, so they might win this one.
What a better system than we used to have, when every time the ball went out of bounds, the last 2 minutes you're over there looking.
Right. So Mark Pope can't challenge anything the rest of the way. If Pat Kelsey wins this one, he will retain one challenge, but it's not infinite.
After review, the call will be reversed. Out of bounds to Louisville. Louisville will get their timeout back and have one challenge remaining.
So the Cardinals get the timeout back and still have the challenge because they were right. Fingertip right there. Brown looks okay. He is back in the game. It's going to be him inbounding, so clearly it was a cramp. They got him hydrated, and good to see him back on the floor. The pull-up. And he is fouled by Garrison and will be heading to the free throw line.
Boy, after coming back in the game with cramps, he doesn't even hesitate.
And how about 16 fouls on Kentucky in 7 minutes and 36 seconds here in the second half?
And what that means is that Louisville has to continue to be strong in driving the ball. Put Kentucky in a position to foul.
The way he is flexing his leg, he's probably still feeling it a little bit. It's not like it has completely gone away, but obviously he feels good enough to get back in there. And his first 2 points of the second half, he's got 22 on the night. And it is a scene right now here at the Yum Center.
Boy, Hadley's doing a great job on Owe. Wouldn't let him catch it.
Owe got Hadley in the air, but Hadley recovers.
Right now, Louisville's help side defense has been really, really good. They're in gaps. After that shot fake, Mikel Brown comes over. He's right there, and just being there slowed Owe down so that Hadley could recover and block that shot.
And it tells you how good their defense has been. They're on pace to score well over 100 points, and it's their defense that has impressed you most of all.
No question. I mean, that's what set everything up. I mean, it's one thing to score, but they've made it really difficult on Kentucky to score.
Frew keeps it alive, finds Wooley. And the rebound down to the Cats. Chandler, nice touch pass. Garrison lays it in and one.
I don't know why you foul there. He had an advantage, you let him go.
18-point lead, Louisville. 11:32 to go.
Over half of the field goal attempts for Louisville, and they've only got 3 turnovers on the game. That's remarkable.
You make more threes at a higher rate and you don't turn the ball over. I mean, you're going to win the vast majority of your games. That's a
pretty good recipe.
Yeah. And this guy's a pretty good part of the recipe as well. Mikel Brown Jr. having himself a night with 22 points, 4 assists, 1 turnover. No look pass to Wooley. Battle for the rebound is won by Garrison, and a foul is called on the play. It'll be on Conwell, his 3rd. What a great look by Brown.
Just a fabulous pass. It looked like he was going to try to send it out to the corner, but instead found Wooley out top.
Who can lead Kentucky offensively? Cam Williams is into the game. A 6'8" sophomore, a transfer from Tulane. He has gotten minutes here and there in the first couple of games for Kentucky, not many. Owe from the corner. And of all people, Lowe with the offensive rebound. And he is not getting up. He may have hit the back of his head on the court when he fell. Or maybe his back, maybe his tailbone.
Well, he's looking at the official saying, come on, man, that's not a foul.
Both. That's got to hurt. Ooh. He will stay in the game as Aberdeen returns. Out there with Williams, Garrison, and Chandler. Mark Pope searching for a combination right now. Garrison a good passer as well.
Got a switch.
Lowe drives through, kicks it out. Deep one for Williams. Got it! So Mark Pope puts him in, and he immediately knocks down a 3.
Well, he's a 3-and-D guy from Tulane. Had 14 double-figure games last year. He brings length and athleticism.
Conwell with the answer. And it's 13 made threes right now for the Cardinals.
Boy, Louisville can absolutely stretch your defense, and if you close out hard to them, they can shot fake and drive.
And a three at the other end for Chandler, and a timeout on the floor as we have just moved past the midway mark of the second half, and Kentucky trying to find a way to hang in there with Louisville, but every time they make a shot, Jay, it seems like the Cardinals come back down and knock down a three.
Well, those 2 threes by Kentucky sandwiched around Ryan Conwell's three. That was a big one for Louisville, and Spida Mitchell loving it. Has been knocking down threes left and right against Kentucky. When you get 2 on the ball, Frew passes it out to an open shooter, then the reversal, ready to shoot when the ball arrives. Then Adrian Wooley, the lefty, knocks it down behind the screen. Over half of Louisville's field goal attempts have come from 3. And Mark Pope of Kentucky has a goal. Kentucky set a record last year for threes at Kentucky. And he's got a goal. He wants to get up 35 good ones a game. Louisville's going to do that before we get to the 5-minute mark.
Wooley behind the screen from Frew, defended by Williams.
Good pass.
Kenai Roots through the offensive rebound. Roots has had a couple of big games in the early going this year. Louisville's first 2 games quiet tonight, but they are still having a great night, and they get another offensive rebound.
Then it's just too much on that screen. Tripped up Aberdeen. Boy, you get 3 opportunities for Louisville. They come away with nothing there because of the screening foul.
McKneely back in for the Cards, replacing Wooley.
Pretty impressive stuff on a number of fronts for the Cardinals.
Well, especially when you look at those turnovers forced and compare it to, if you count that last screening foul as a turnover. So it's 4 turnovers now overall for Louisville. That's incredible.
Given the pace of this game.
Yeah, the ball security's been excellent.
Lowe into traffic. And it's out of bounds, still Kentucky ball.
Boy, Frew is he's a difficult guy to get a shot over. He does a really good job of moving his feet. Doesn't give up on the play after Brandon Garrison just rolled him down the lane, and still able to block that shot.
Williams out to Lowe. Chandler pulls up for 3 and hits.
Boy, right in the grill of Sananda Frew. He was right there with pressure on that shot.
Chandler with his 3rd 3 of the night. He looks like he has taken a major step forward from a season ago. McKneely into the paint, finds Frew, the spin and the finish.
Again, Isaac McKneely playing off 2 feet in the lane, was able to pivot and deliver that pass along the baseline to Frew. That's just beautiful.
Frew trying to stay with Lowe, the step back 3. And Kentucky's got it down to 10.
Boy, the shot making in this game has been elite.
Conwell will try one. Not this time, and Chandler soars for the rebound.
Big possession for Kentucky here.
8 minutes to go. Mismatch down low, but it's Lowe for 3. Garrison the rebound. Aberdeen. And the follow by Williams, who has given them a real spark here in the last few minutes.
Time is out on the floor.
And a timeout on the floor. Owe and the rest of the Cats feeling like they are getting back into this one. And it's Cam Williams who did.
Up for the game between Louisville and Kentucky, and both teams had 10 games under their belt. This year, they're playing with 2. But still, this has been a really high-level game. It seems like this is a February game or a March game, not a November game.
And a couple of times Louisville looked like they might just run away with this thing, but Kentucky gets back into it. It's down to single digits with a lot of time left on the clock.
I think Louisville's got to find a way to touch the paint, give themselves an opportunity to get fouled.
Next foul either way sends the other team to the line. McKneely wide open, and Mark Pope, before that shot went up, was so angry that McKneely got an open look, but they were fortunate that he missed it. Stolen away by Hadley.
Boy, Hadley's made some really good defensive plays in this game.
Missed their last game, was in concussion protocol, but looks like himself here tonight. Khalifa, look at that pass.
That's his 4th assist, but he's been more valuable than that passing the ball. Mikel Brown passed out of that double team, and Khalifa in the middle of the floor. What a beautiful pass and cut.
They've got 20 assists on 29 made field goals. Aberdeen elevates and hits, and he's got 20.
He's been so aggressive offensively, known more as a defender. Mikel Brown Jr., when he got trapped out top, didn't panic, just back dribbled, and Khalifa just hit a running Javon Hadley. Just a fantastic passer. That's threading the needle and then some. They call him the Egyptian magician, and that's why.
Brown knocks down the front end for his 23rd point of the night. Don't go anywhere after this one. There's another great game coming your way. It'll be Creighton and Gonzaga. Speaking of ranked teams, they are both ranked, and it is always a scene in Spokane. That'll be a great game with Dave Fleming and Sean Farnham on the call a little bit later on tonight.
Well, the best thing about being in the kennel is getting to watch Gonzaga play basketball. The second best thing is the Davenport Hotel.
10-point game. Lowe keeping the dribble alive. Owe. And Khalifa holds off Garrison for the rebound. Ahead to Hadley, who has it rejected.
What a block by Cam Williams. Boy, that saved a bucket right there.
What a few minutes off the bench for Cam Williams. Aberdeen trying to shake McKneely, can't do it. Garrison back to Aberdeen, and McKneely called for the foul.
Boy, McKneely did a really nice job of stopping that drive and staying in front. But talk about a bucket-saving block, not only getting in front, but quick off his feet. That length and athleticism we talked about with Cam Williams as a 3-and-D guy coming into Kentucky from Tulane. Boy, one thing about Cam Williams too, Dan, he's tough to screen. And when you try to screen him, he'll just run right over you.
And again, both of these teams are so deep. Williams didn't get in the game until a few minutes ago. He was the 10th man into this game for Mark Pope. Mark Pope made an analogy to us today when we were talking about the depth. He said, it's like walking into a great music studio. You've got every toy and bell and whistle. And he said, the trick is figuring out how to make sweet music, beautiful music, by making all the parts fit. It's a good problem to have, but both of these coaches have a lot of different ways they could go about their rotation.
And it's great when your drummer can shoot.
Brown. And a good rebound there by Williams, doing a little bit of everything right now for Kentucky. A bucket here makes it really interesting, and it'll be Aberdeen back to the line.
That wasn't the shot that Louisville wanted or needed on that possession. They didn't move the Kentucky defense at all.
Number 4 on Isaac McKneely, so he will sit, and it'll be Adrian Wooley back into the game for the Cardinals.
And that takes out an offensive weapon. Not that Wooley can't stretch the floor. He's a good shooter. But McKneely is the most dangerous. He and Mikel Brown Jr. the most dangerous shooters.
What a portal pickup Denzel Aberdeen is for this Kentucky program. Misses the front end though, but he got it back. Missed again. Boy, they had a great opportunity to get it maybe down to 6.
Well, first Marino kept it alive, but then Khalifa for Louisville.
Hadley misses the 3. Williams in transition. Nice pass. Marino, the assist from Aberdeen. And there's a lot of clock left in this game, and it's down to 6. And now Pat Kelsey wants a timeout.
Boy, what a change in fortune to be aggressive, but you don't want to just settle for a 3. I felt that Mikel Brown Jr. settled for a shot that led to a run out.
Owe on Brown right now. They get it in to Hadley. Backdoor cut, Hadley the catch, turned it over. Lowe for 3. And Hadley corrals the rebound. That would have made it a 1-possession game. And a foul on Owe, and that will be number 4 on him.
Just as important, he sends Louisville to the foul line.
It will be Adrian Wooley at the line, the Conference USA Freshman of the Year a season ago with Kennesaw State. Averaged almost 19 points per game.
And shot 50% from the field overall. He does such a good job of changing pace and direction. And one of the best things about him coming into Louisville was his ability to draw fouls and get to the free throw line.
Mikel Brown Jr. has gone to the bench, probably just because we're getting near the under 4 timeout. Give him a bit of a breather. Kobe Rogers back into the game for Louisville. And the friendly bounce on the front end. You're right. He never looks like he's been, playing at a game this pace. He just always looks calm, and he's not sweating at all.
Yeah,
How's he not sweating?
I don't think he has any sweat glands.
They should look into that. 1 of 2, and the rebound to Chandler.
Something out of the middle of the floor, I think, is what Kentucky needs here.
Deep one for Chandler, and he got it! His 4th 3 of the night, and it's a 4-point game.
What a big-time shooter Colin Chandler is.
Crossover by Conwell, can't shake Chandler. Rogers into the paint. Conwell for 3. And a big offensive rebound for Wooley, but a held ball. And the arrow is given it to Kentucky.
That's the kind of fight Kentucky needs to show for the remainder in the game. And they put some real game pressure on Louisville down the stretch.
Pat Kelsey has brought Isaac McKneely back into the game. He's playing with 4. Otega Owe has 4 for Kentucky. He's on the bench. Lowe at the controls. Wants a ball screen. Goes the other way. Drives. Kicks. Chandler open. Nope, we have a whistle and a foul before. I don't know how anybody can hear a whistle in this place right now. And it's number 4 on Ryan Conwell.
Boy, when Marino goes out to set that ball screen, it was really high. And that gives a lot of room to Jalen Lowe to get downhill and really put pressure on the Louisville defense. Kentucky did a really good job of spreading the floor on that possession.
So it is Lowe at the line. He is 3 for 3 from the line tonight, has 9 points and 5 assists. The second time in the last couple of minutes that a Kentucky player has missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Lowe did it here. Aberdeen did it a couple of minutes ago. And we've got 3 minutes to go. Brown with Frew on him, drives him, switches hands, lays it in and one.
Boy, he knew he had the ability to drive because Malachi Marino, the 7-footer, switched out onto him. It's one thing to get past Marino, but it's another to finish with that left hand over the two-hand challenge from Chandler. What a beautiful finish by the freshman. That is big time, and they really needed that.
He is a special player having a special night. That is his 27th point. And they've got it back to 7, and they've got this crowd on its feet again.
Boy, what a turnaround. The missed front end of the 1-and-1 to the 3-point play by Brown Jr.
Chandler into traffic, finds Aberdeen, who snakes his way into the paint and hits.
Really good shot fake on the closeout by Hadley that let Aberdeen get into the middle of the lane.
And that's a career high 24 points for Denzel Aberdeen. Brown again, and he got grabbed and will shoot a couple.
So if he didn't get grabbed, Frew had a dunk. Boy, it's so hard to stay in front of him. He can go left as easily as he goes right. And we've seen from these finishes, Mikel Brown Jr. has a spectacular left hand.
How impressive is it for a freshman in his 3rd college game to play at this level in this kind of an atmosphere against this caliber of opponent?
I mean, he hasn't changed expression. He looks like he's just at a shoot-around.
Conwell makes them both, and it's back to 7. Kentucky trying to do something it hasn't been able to do in the last 15 years. They were down 20 earlier. Got it down to 4. It's 7 now. In and out for Aberdeen, and it's Louisville ball.
Boy, great ball movement by Kentucky. They just couldn't knock down the open shot. And Louisville now can afford to take a little bit of time. You don't want to take the air out of it, but there's no rush. This was used earlier to drive.
Conwell behind the back, still has the dribble, and hits!
Boy, that's just bully ball right there.
Aberdeen quickly answers at the other end, but trading baskets not good enough right now for Kentucky.
That same set that Louisville just ran was what they ran to end the half.
How deep they are. Kenai Roots averaged 18 per game in their first 2 games. Their leading scorer. He has not scored tonight. 11 minutes. Kason Pryor has barely played tonight. 2 minutes in the first half, but they've got so many weapons. They've still got 95 points on the board. Conwell gets it over, finds Hadley, and again they can exercise a little patience.
Denzel Aberdeen's not going to let Mikel Brown get the ball.
Conwell the kick, McKneely the 3, Frew the rebound.
What a board by Sananda Frew. That's how you win games right there.
And you can tell they love him chanting out his name as we are now into the final minute of regulation, and they can sense it here at the Yum Center.
That's a winning play right there by Sananda Fruit.
Number 4 on Chandler will send Conwell to the line.
Boy, after all that praising of free throws, is that an announcer jinx?
That's an announcer. Yeah. That is indisputably an announcer jinx.
Even though it was delayed.
And even though there's no such thing. Ooh, maybe there is such a thing. Missed them both. Louisville ball.
And you can't challenge it. Kentucky lost their challenge earlier, so that's gone. Boy, Hadley would not give up on that offensive rebound opportunity.
They've got a really strong combination of skill and grit. And I think you could say the same for Kentucky. This is an excellent Kentucky team, but boy, has Louisville come to play here tonight.
From the opening tip, Louisville was the aggressor. And that's what Pat Kelsey talked to his team about. We have to be great at us. And if this is who us is for Louisville, the Cards are going to win a lot of games. Just the physicality and the toughness that Louisville showed throughout the course of this game. It's put them in a great position to win this one. A few free throw makes here. They've missed 3 in a row now. Would be helpful.
Donovan Mitchell and everybody else on their feet, waiting for the last 44 seconds to tick away, but they do have to make a couple of free throws and not let Kentucky get too close here.
Well, right now for Louisville, it's about not allowing threes and not fouling.
4 in a row they've missed after being so good until that point. And Lowe stepped out of bounds.
Good job by Ryan Conwell to angle him out. Showed his hands, did not foul.
Lowe will sit. Owe is back in for the first time in a long while after he picked up his 4th foul. Hadley will dribble it over. And he's fouled by Chandler. That's going to be number 5 on Colin Chandler. But you really don't have much of a choice. You got to put them on the line and hope they keep missing. That's pretty cool. Donovan Mitchell and Mikel Brown Jr. Hadley back to the line. As Lowe will come back in. Chandler fouls out.
But while we've talked about Ryan Conwell and Mikel Brown, and rightfully so, Javon Hadley's had a really good game. Defensively, he's fought on the glass, made great cuts.
5 in a row that they've missed. Crowd can't believe it. He can't believe it. He's missed the last 3. Six in a row. They should have this game totally salted away already. Owe spins, forces it up, and it's Louisville ball with 18.3 to go.
Really well executed by Louisville, taking away threes, not fouling.
Timeout, Cardinals.
And a timeout taken by Pat Kelsey. His energy in high.
Don't be surprised to see somebody go long here.
There goes McKneely. Inbounded to Conwell and the immediate foul. And it's number 5 on Lowe. He becomes the second Kentucky player to foul out.
Don't at some places when you miss 2 free throws in a row, you get like a chicken sandwich or donuts or something? Imagine how much we'd be taking home the last few free throws.
Yeah. Let's see if they can put all this silly jinx talk to bed right now.
That's right. You're the one.
Yeah. Seven consecutive misses after they had been 20 of 23 beforehand. See? Not a thing. Jasper Johnson back in. The rebound down to Hadley. And they can run out the clock right now. The Louisville Cardinals are for real, folks. A big-time win over Kentucky, 96-88 here at the Yum Center. Keep an eye on them this year.